Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of Johnny D's Music Mania. I'm Johnny D. Over here is Maria, as you can see. Down there is Michelle, and over there is Professor Microdose from MMR, which is Monkee Mania Radio. And that's really what we're here to talk about tonight. We are here to talk, it's the Professor Show tonight. It's all about Monkee Mania Radio. So let's just start this whole thing by kicking it to the Professor. And for those who are tuning in for the first time and have no idea what MMR is, let them know.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on there. And thanks all the fans here that are listening in. So MMR, Monkee Mania Radio. What we try to do is we're trying to bring nostalgic radio back to everybody. And of course, we are monkey centric. So you're going to hear at least 2 to 3 monkey songs an hour on our station all the time. But we are also playing a whole variety of music from 60s, 70s, into the 80s. But what we're really trying to do is bring that old school AM classic radio feel back. So we have DJs. Some of those DJs go live. So that, and because of that, we have call-ins. So we have a call-in number so we can actually interact with fans while we're live. We have a listening lounge now. We have a lounge where people can go in and chat with us while we're live. And even if your favorite DJ isn't on at that moment, if you go in there, talk to them, right? So we're really trying to bring back that community feel of what radio used to be.
And that's what we're doing here. I mean, we're not radio, obviously. It doesn't look like radio to me. But that's kind of what we're doing here, too. Monkey-centric. Basically, about 50% of what we do here will be monkeys. And then the other 50 cent. No, there'll be no 50 cent on the channel. Let me tell you right now.
Unless he was a Monkees fan.
Maybe, but even then, no. The other 50% will be other music-related. Basically the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe the 50s. It's an era that I love too. So we're kind of doing the same exact thing. No, we're not kind of doing the same exact thing. We're doing exactly the same thing. Centered on the Monkees, but covering all the music that we all grew up with. And everybody can find us here on YouTube, obviously. That's easy, Johnny D's Music Mania. But Professor, where can people, now you've got everybody excited and intrigued about MMR. How do they find MMR?
Well, they can go to monkeemaniaradio.live. They can also find us on Facebook with MMR Radio. Or they can find us, there's an app called Live 365, which is centric music, right? So it's all internet radio stations, and do a search off of MMR and you will find us. And Johnny, I got to say, there's one thing you mentioned about,
right
the
here.
old.
365 looks like. Sorry.
There it is. And by the end of the year, we will actually have our own app as well. So we're putting out, so there'll be an MMR app as well. So you click on it, it takes you right to the station live, and you can hear all the music.
So in other words, you can bypass 365 live or live 365.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow. Interesting. That's great. That's absolutely great.
Yeah. So I wanted to add that what I think, which is really nice, is both MMR and this YouTube station, what you're going to see is that combination of we're using modern technology to bring everybody all of this, but we're trying to give it that nostalgic feel. We're talking about topics that we all know and love, but we're bringing that twist of still using that modern technology to bring everybody that, which is just it's an amazing world that we live in, that we can now do that, because we can reach an audience around the world that we couldn't before. So I think that's another good thing that these two stations do together.
Yeah.
And if I may add, hi folks, it's Maria. But I love MMR, Monkee Mania Radio. And I think one of the reasons I love it so much is that not only do I get to hear my beloved Monkees, which is my favorite band on the planet, my favorite music. For me, I will be the first to admit, sometimes it's really hard for me to get out of what's familiar to me. But MMR really is the platform for me to get expanded to other music because it's on, right? So I hear my Monkees and then another song comes on that I've never heard before, but wow, okay, I really like it. I never heard this song. I never heard this artist. So, I mean, I've learned about new bands because of MMR. I've gotten exposed to new artists because of MMR. So I think that is a wonderful thing that you folks are doing over at MMR, Professor Microdose. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. And we try to achieve that in two ways, right? We take a two-step approach. One is we have great DJs who spend a lot of time going through the music, right? Mick Lawless, who owns a record store, Nevermind Shop. Check them out, nevermindshop.com.
Burlington, Connecticut, and Umpton, Massachusetts.
Exactly. Okay. I got to do the ding ding, right? But Mick has been part of the record industry and then owning this record shop for years and years and years. So he spends a lot of time trying to curate the music and go through and figure out what's the right music to play. And then we achieve this in two ways. We have two things the way we do this. Throughout the day, like a normal day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we're Monday through Friday, we're playing. We have some DJ interaction. We have a morning show with Mick. We have an afternoon show that I host, but we're still focused on the music. And we curate this. We make sure that you're going to hear music that you know you're going to like, but then we're always saying, how can we make this exciting? We just played 3 songs that we know you like. How do we slip something in now that you haven't heard before? And we're constantly trying to keep that fresh. Then our DJ hosted shows with somebody like Sonny G, who's taking you from the 50s, 60s into the early 70s. She's not only playing the music, but she's spending a lot of time describing the music, describing the bands. That's where it's the DJs that are really bringing you now that background history and content. So you have that mix. We bring it to you both ways. So if you just want to hear the music, it's there. But if you want to hear the history, we make sure to deliver that as well.
Very good.
Yeah. And it's absolutely wonderful. And I listen to it now. Here's the interesting thing where you can find it and how you can do it. I listen to it on Amazon Alexa. So I just have Alexa and I just crank it and play it most of the day. Now, Michelle, you actually listen to it in your car.
Yeah, through the app. Then there's MMR on Live 365. That's what they look like right now. And so I opened that up, and then you open that up, and then they will be playing. But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm thrilled to be listening to it because, first of all, Professor Microdose just has one of the most awesome shows I've ever heard on any radio ever, as long as I've been listening. And it's kind of a dream come true a little bit, because even when I was a kid, this concept was, I'm sure every Monkee fan was thinking, man, if we just could listen to the Monkees 24/7, because they have such a catalog. I mean, that would be just so great. Now, this isn't what MMR is, but it's about as close as you're ever going to get with actually a nicer blend. And that's what really makes it beautiful. So everybody that brought it to us, the creator, Alan, correct?
Yep.
Alan Williams, yeah.
Alan Williams.
And
founder.
all the effort and work that all the DJs put into it, Professor Microdose, Clint Wooten, Kit, Mick, I'm not gonna, it's Tom, all of them. And
Ken.
It's not only great music, but it's great music brought to you by, we all know personally, me, Maria, and John, that these are just really great people. And it's just, for me, it's like turning on the radio and it feels like you're with a group of friends and listening to your favorite music.
Yeah, and honestly, there's so much to unpack there, Michelle. So I'm gonna so first I gotta say is that's what we're going for, right? We want it to feel, again, I know it's internet radio. We're all over the world, and we have listeners all over the U.S. that reach out to us in Canada, and again, even in Europe, not so much in Europe, but a few. But what it ends up being is we reach out to each other, and we're trying to build that community where you used to have the local DJ, and then you went down to the local, the local band, the local venue, and then you're like, oh, the DJ from WZLX. That was my growing up. But oh, he's here tonight. That's what we're trying to build. So we're always going to the conventions. We're trying to go to any shows. And we want to know the fans. That's so it's great. I will say, so I know you asked about where you can listen. We have obviously on the web, right? There's Live 365, Odyssey, Radio Line, Streama. Like those are all different places that you can listen to us. You can obviously through any Android phone or tablet, but Android TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, Roku, and then of course Alexa. So there's all kinds of ways to be able to reach out to us. And again, as you said, in the car, any of your devices that can run Live 365, you can listen to us in the car.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, maybe you can talk about this a little bit, the fact that for whatever reason, you can't run Monkee music all day long. So that was a thing, right? It wasn't that the original intent, and then maybe I'm correct about this, but that was the original intent, but then it was discovered that legally that can't be done.
Yeah, exactly. So the dream Alan had was he's going to start a radio station. He's going to play Monkees, and he's going to be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing all kinds of Monkees and other Monkee kind of related content. But the Monkees have such a great catalog that he wanted to do this. Goes to set it up, gets ready, and immediately is faced with the reality of broadcast radio, which is that there are laws. And so internet radio streaming prevents you from playing the same band more than 3 times in a row, playing too many songs from the same album, too many songs from the same artist within a 3-hour period. So, so what did we do? So Alan pivoted and said, okay, we're going to play not only Monkees, but Monkee related. We're going to throw in some Jimi Hendrix. Why? Jimi Hendrix opened for the Monkees, right? We have the entire 7A solo catalog from each of the Monkees. So we can play all of that because those, so now you can play a Monkee song and then play a Mike Nesmith song and then a Davy Jones song. And that's not Monkees, Monkees, Monkees. Now, to Monkees fans, it feels that way. So that really gave us this ability to open up on our way. So what we did. Go ahead, Maria. He's looking.
Well, I was going to say, and I guess the whole reason that the Monkees exist was based off of the Beatles. And we also we didn't mention this, but we've got Emily Lennon's show, Beatles show as well on Monkee Mania Radio and MMR.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And we have and that's what the station's trying to be. The station is, so obviously the Beatles had a big impact on the Monkees, but the Monkees had such a big impact on a lot of other bands and that whole sphere of influence, right? Because it goes both ways. And the Beatles talked about how much they love the Monkees. But yes,
and I can't blame them.
Exactly. But you're right. We have that's what we try to do here. So
and we can't
have our normal shows. Exactly. But so we have a lot of different shows. We have them on Sunday mornings. We have an acoustic cafe where we try to play acoustic stuff. We have our normal morning show and afternoon show, and those are great shows. I host one of them, but we dedicate several hours a week to surf rock with Kenny Sacco. So it's another great show. We have the Lonely Hearts Club. Again, that's the one you were referring to, which is all dedicated to Beatles and Beatle related, right? So it's solo projects and cover songs. We have my show, my time travel show, which is Professor Microdose show. We got Tom Small doing Psycho Jello Radio, where he's really focused on 1965 to 1971. So he's bringing great history to that. We have Soul Party every Friday night. We have Clint doing words where he picks a word and we go songs all related around to that word. We actually have several hours a week dedicated to early 80s with Wave Generation, with our DJ, The Electric Landlady. So we're really trying to bring so much together. And of course, the Sunshine Factory with Kit and Sunny G, where she is very 50s, 60s, 70s focused, but with a lot of history. Everything she talks about connects it.
And, this may, go ahead, Michelle.
I was just going to just interject there, which is really impressive with her youth. I mean, she's much younger than even me and Maria as far as the Monkee fandom, and her wealth of knowledge, her interviewing the cows,
Paul Cows.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting content she puts forth. Some things I have no clue about, and I'm like, wow, she really and she has this art of drawing you into learning more. Sometimes you're like, I just want music, I don't want to learn anything, and she really has an art to that is really beautiful.
Which is kind of interesting because but Kit also is an artist, and she draws and she creates these wonderful cartoons and just imagery, and it's just, I think it's wonderful. Every single person involved with MMR has a creativity and a love of the Monkees, of 60s music, of that classic rock, era. And it's the stuff that we all love. And this is why we're doing what we're doing here on YouTube. And Professor Microdose, you and everybody else involved in MMR are doing what you do to promote the radio station. And I think it's just fantastic because the more people know about it, there are fans out there that do not know. And our job and our mission and our goal is to have them know about this and spread the word about MMR and about our YouTube channel. So this is great.
I want to say one more thing. It's spoke about Kit. I want to say, not to embarrass you, Professor, but I have to say this. The first show I ever heard, I was watching my phone very intently as I was listening. But the first show I ever listened to was Professor Microdose, and you weave this incredible story, the time traveling thing, and it is just, I love it. I told you before, I would love to have a catalog recorded of your shows because they are just intricately beautiful. I love them. Such amazing music and an amazing just story woven within the show is excellent.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. And I will say, and I think Maria hit it on the head, is I will always be partial to my show. I'll pat myself on the back. But in all seriousness, I think what it is that each DJ brings a very unique perspective to the music that they're picking, right? Again, Electric Landlady. I even made a joke in one of my shows because my show, I feel very lucky because my show is Professor Microdose. I take you on a little time traveling trip. So I can take you anywhere, right? Like I can literally go anywhere in time. Some DJs try to focus in specific eras and they do great at that, but sometimes they're locked in and they feel restricted and they want to expand out. But I made a joke one time. I went into the 80s and did some 80s and I'm like, oh, I just got a phone call from Electric Landlady. She's telling me to stop playing her stuff, right? But I think they bring such a different perspective. Like if you listen to Mick's show, the Froda's Room, right? Mick's show, it's a Monkees episode, right? I mean, there's mute, right? He's got stuff going on. He's with Mr. Schneider. There's chaos in the studio. There's stuff going on. Oh, by the way, here's some music, right? And then he plays some songs and he comes back to chaos. And then it all works out in the end, right? So, Mick builds Monkee shows where Kit is very informational. You have some great stuff. Like I said, you have Kenny who's sitting there with the surf rock. So you have each DJ brings so much to it. But thank you. Yes, I thank you for the accolades.
And didn't you send Tom back to the 80s?
Yes, I think that's one of the things that we try to do is each show tries to interject with each other. Like one of Tom's shows, he wanted to break out from his normal playing, so he wanted to go into the 80s. So what did he had me as a guest on a show do a skit where I send him back to the 80s, right? So we're really trying to build this. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the day, the Professor Microdose show is a spinoff from the Furnace Room. I was a guest on Mick's show originally. That character was a guest. And then we became, we did another, it's like a spinoff. So I kind of feel like Mork, I guess.
Well, this might be blasphemy, but I think not being able to play Monkees 24/7 is a blessing. It really
that's
is.
pretty much blasphemy, John. Because for years before MMR is let's say this, MMR is a blessing to give the variety, but for years before MMR, there's nothing that could capture my attention. So thank goodness for, as Mickey had always thought, he's the one I heard it from, with our digital dump. And I had all their solo work, all their, and so that's what I was doing. I literally created my own, all Monkees all the time. But MMR allowed me to step out of that a little bit and branch out, but yet still have that nice dose of Monkees.
So when you turn on MMR, you're going to get Monkees. You're going to get a lot of Monkees, but it also opened the door for all these DJs and all these other shows, which are all excellent and fascinating. And Professor, with your time machine, that's the tops, man. I always look forward to that. That is wonderful. And what's so surprising about it is when you say, for example, like you're doing the top 25 of 1972, I've got in my head, this is who I am. I remember 72. I'm like, oh, there's that song, and then you realize they didn't even make the top 25. I mean, music was so good back then, and AM radio was so fantastic that the songs that I remember most from 1972 didn't even make the top 25.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I'm lucky because that opens the door to say, I did these top 25 shows. Now I can go back and revisit 72 and say it's everything but the top 25.
Sure, because I truly believe, and most of us here, most of the people that might be watching this, if you went back from maybe the mid 60s through the mid 80s and you looked at the top 100, I think we're going to know every song. You always hear about the number ones, the top 10s. Creedence Clearwater never had a number one single ever.
Right.
We know 20 of their songs, if not more. So you look at it and you go, wow, what a world we grew up in, where we all know 100 songs and probably more, but the top 100, we'll know them all, even if you didn't make number one at any time or not in the final 25. And that's where all of this, that's the basis for MMR. And pretty much what we're going to be doing here and talking about as well, because there's just this wealth of music, unbelievable amount of music.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest challenge we had. But I think we balanced it well. It was, how do I say because I'm thinking of the Microdose show, but all shows, right? How do we at MMR not just play this song, then this song, and you're like, without throwing you off, how do we take you through a journey? How do we take you from here to here in a nice way, that every song, so you can feel that, and you knew every song. You may have forgotten some of it, forgot that song even existed. That's what we're going for. We're going for, I remember this makes me feel good, without just that harsh switch. Because all of these songs can be great, but you can't just switch. You have to kind of go on a journey. And I think that's what we really try hard at MMR, is to create that journey.
Plus go ahead, Michelle. Please.
I think you guys are masters at that craft. Every one of the DJs on there, you guys are absolute masters at that craft. The play flow, it's a smooth ride. It's very, very nice. I mean, I've never ever thought, what the heck, what are we doing? But no, I mean, with the way they transition, the stories, and the flow of music itself, it's always good listening. It just is.
Plus, you're building personalities. I mean, that's what DJs are. I mean, people, I kind of maybe, I had a DJ when I was in high school that I would tune into every night doing my homework, because he was the DJ that you would listen to in town, right? And everybody got to know the guy. And I sort of think of like Johnny Carson, like even the Johnny Carson show. I didn't care who Johnny's guests were ever. It never didn't matter to me. I was there to watch Johnny Carson. And with MMR doing it the way they do it, you've got specific DJs that, you're building that connection with people and those personalities that people want to tune in and listen to and what they're doing today. So that's another big part of building an audience.
Right.
Having consistent shows with consistent, personalities on there too. And I think, and that's again why you kind of moved into that, because you can't do monkeys all the time. And everybody can bring their own take to MMR. And I think overall that makes the station wonderful. A lot better than if, and no offense anybody, but if it was just 24/7 monkeys, I think this is better. I do.
Well, the monkeys is what connects us all. And
Absolutely.
From there, we branch out. And that's the part where we expand out.
And that's
But
exactly.
the monkeys is the base. This is how we all came together for our mutual love of the monkeys.
And I think,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're
Right.
going to
And I will just say what you were saying, Johnny, what really brings this for me is, so yeah, we did this, but we didn't do it in a vacuum, right? Because one of the things that we're doing is it sounds weird, right? But this sounds like there's a finite number of songs, right? 60s, 70s, 80s. There's all people like, oh, there's only so much music, right? No, there's a lot. And we're always pulling a few songs down, adding a few more songs. And the monkeys is constant. Like Maria said, the monkey songs are in there. But what do we play in between those monkey songs to keep people's attention? We spend a lot of time thinking about that, but we don't do it in a vacuum. Where do we get this information? By coming on shows like this, speaking with experts like you guys, it's the same thing. Why do I watch your YouTube show? Because I want to see the guests and I want to hear the questions that you have, because you're pulling that information out of the guests, getting this thing. And I hear something. Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't think about that. And then how can I apply that to the show? Right. So that's what I want. Right. And it's a community. We all work together towards it.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, your guys' recipe of bringing, it's like building a cake. The flour is like the base, and then you got the, good dose of monkeys there, and you got all the other things, but you got all these little nuances and all the other pieces of the recipe, the eggs, everything that brings it together. And you guys make the most beautiful. I do love MMR. I don't really listen to any other radio stations because I get the mix there. If I want to listen to Monkey straight on, I listen to my digital. But if I want to listen to a little bit of variety, MMR is a perfect place to go, especially if you're looking for monkeys all the time and you kind of like, I want a little bit of a mix. Beautiful blend. Excellent recipe. Mwah.
Thank you. And I will just say, because people will say, well, why don't I just listen to Spotify? Right. And I'm not saying that's a whole can of worms, Spotify. Right. But why not? Because you're not going to get the DJ personalities. Spotify doesn't do that. Right. You're not going to get the DJ personalities. We have nostalgic commercials. Right. Like you're going to hear these tidbits. You're going to hear all this stuff throughout the show. And it's designed to make you laugh and make you feel good. That's what the radio station's about. And you don't get that from Spotify. You may just get the music. And don't get me wrong, sometimes that's what you want, right? You're at the beach and you're going to do something and I just want to listen to some tunes. We get that, right? And we respect that, right? But we want to be here for everything. So.
And can I also say, oh, sorry.
No,
Josh.
go ahead.
So can I also say that each and every one of you does this out of the love that you have for the monkeys, for the music, for doing this, for bringing your love into this and creating something. Each one of you, which is an incredible thing. You're volunteering your time, your effort, your all of that in order to bring this love that you have for this band and all that encompasses it to the world. And for that, we are grateful. We see it. We know that you're sacrificing time away from other things you could be doing to do this for us, for monkey fans, for music fans, for the world. And you bring us so much joy. All of you bring us so much joy. But Professor Microdose, you're the leader here. You took over for Alan. Unfortunately, Alan passed away, but you have carried on this legacy and have made it even better. I know that Alan is so proud of you and each and every one of you for what you have done, what you have brought, and what you continue to do. Your effort, your dedication, it does not go unnoticed.
Nope.
We love you all for doing what you're doing.
Oh, yeah,
We're very
Thank
grateful
you.
to you.
Thank
Very
you.
grateful.
What she said, absolutely, it goes for all of us. It's wonderful to have MMR. I'll tell you what, Professor, I feel like I'm 10 or 12 years old again listening to MMR. It really feels, because I grew up with AM radio around the clock. I was a kid who would go to bed at night with a little white, thing in my ear, right? The little earphone in my ear. And I'd stay up all night. On school nights, I'm up till 2 a.m. listening to the top 40. It's what I would do. So this totally feels like I'm back being a kid again. And that's what's wonderful about it. But that kind of is the idea of MMR and the idea of what we're doing here too. It's just to remember those times, those memories, that music, and all the stuff we grew up with through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And yes, so thank you, Professor, for what you do, because it is massive what you do, what you're bringing to the world.
it really does.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. I think you said it with all the DJs, they volunteer their time. And there's for the love of the music, right? That's at the end of the day, we all do this for the love of the music. And it's great. And I will say, just on the thing about Alan, he set a direction. He set a goal for us. It was, he was our North Star that led us. So that's why we move in the direction we are. Everything we do, we think about how does this apply to Alan's vision, and we hope we do it justice.
And the thing that works, that does it for me the most, and probably everybody, is the music. They are just snapshots of all of our lives. All of those songs, there's a moment, there's a memory, there's a thing, and you listen to MMR, and it's almost you're reliving your life over the course of a day listening to MMR. Listen to MMR, and that's what music is. That's why music literally is the greatest thing in the world. It really is, and it keeps us connected, keeps us unified, and keeps your life connected, because you just remember your entire life listening to this music. So this is, and so thank you very much. Before we go, because we should go here, but before we go, one more time, Professor, where can people find MMR to make sure they get that? So
you can get all of the information on monkeemaniaradio.live, or visit the live365.com and look up MMR, and you'll find our station. Live, there it is. Thank you. So live365.com, or phone on your app, or monkeemaniaradio.live. Either one of those will give you all of the information that you need.
Beautiful. Any closing thoughts from anybody else before we go?
Don't forget about the Facebook page, because that is a great page as well.
There you go. Yeah, that's
exactly. We have the Facebook page, and we try to bring modern things. We have an alert system, so you can sign up for alerts. We have a listener lounge. It's a chat thing. We're trying to encourage people to go to the listener lounge. So you
have a phone number, Professor Microdose.
Oh, we do. 93 MMR Radio. So 93 MMR Radio, and I always have to look. That's 936-677-2346. That's our station. You can call, and we take those voicemails and we play them on the air. So,
and that's the point. That's the point, Professor, right? Because with MMR, you can interact with MMR. There's lots of ways. You started the chat. I signed up for that the other night.
Yep.
So you can chat with people while you're listening. Sometimes you're live and we can watch you do it as you're live. You can call in and leave messages and leave little bits. and the same thing here, because people can comment on what we're doing and suggest things and comment on what we're doing. So that's what all of this is. It's this wonderful interactive world. And MMR is certainly, that's what you guys do.
Yeah. And I think that's one, and I know we're going to wrap it up, but I think that's one thing that we really try to do is we're trying to do, anybody can do an internet radio show and they can record it and just play it back and let it play playlists. We go live whenever we have a chance. All of the DJs love to go live. We click the button and we're spinning the disc right there, right? Trying to take phone calls, chatting with people, and the playlist be damned, right? Someone says, "Oh, I want to hear this." Okay. And we're juggling, right? So we really love to go live and interact with the fans.
Okay.
Did you bring some stuff to show us? Like some
I have something, but I wasn't showing it. But anybody that's going to the M60 conference in
North Haven, Connecticut.
North Haven, Connecticut,
Yeah.
this September, we will have these wonderful coffee cups.
Awesome. Nice.
Yep. So Monkee Mania Radio Live, MMR, Groovy Radio is Great Radio. Stop by the booth. We're going to have a booth. We're going to have our recording set up. We're going to cut. We're going to take some of those and go live in the at certain times. We're going to try to get fan bumps. You come by the booth. We're going to record. We'll give you a coffee cup if you leave a recording with us. Sit down with us, and we're going to get all that interaction on the air. So that'll be great.
Fantastic.
Meet these guys. They are great guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody at MMR is great. Yeah. I would say I'm going to say thank you for being here, but there's no point because if you're watching this on YouTube, we're not guests here. This is the channel who you're looking at right here. There will occasionally be guests. We'll be interviewing people, and we'll thank you for coming. You're a guest, but we're not guests here. This is part of the team, and we have some other people that are part of the team too. And you'll be seeing those as time goes on. So I guess that's good for now, if everybody's good. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Johnny D's Music Mania. Think of subscribing to this channel. We need all the help we can get.
Subscribe, comment, share.
Please,
get the word
comment,
out.
share. Let people know, get the word out about us, and get the word out about MMR. So until next time, thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you.
Bye, everyone.
I'm going to make it a thing.